I literally don't know why.
Welcome everybody to the Sausage Boys podcast. This is your host, the South Coast poster child, aka the mannequin from Newtown. I go by the name of Jackson Grant. And that right there on the ones and twos, that's a man you know and love. He goes by the name of the Terry Crews of Sydney, aka the Steamroller. How the hell are you, my dude?
I'm going good.
That's what we like to hear. It's Karim Diallo. We've got a very special guest in the house today. He's a comedian, he's a rapper, he's a writer, a true Renaissance man that explains all the pictures of naked men in his house.
Hey,
it's
yo.
Kiyanosh.
Hey.
Give me sound. What sound effect is it?
So that is an audience applause.
Okay.
That's the thing. People don't understand we don't hear this anymore.
Yeah, we don't, and
Yeah.
I'm going to learn it, so I know
So
what
that'll
you're
be
doing.
a huge
what if there's a
audience
boo
applause.
one and I don't know I'm being heckled the whole time? So we
I know,
gotta
No, it's
that's
applause.
the thing
Don't
you
worry.
wanna
It's
know.
applause.
catch the vibes. As we go.
It's car crash sound. Don't worry. It's people
Just
laughing.
Middle Eastern noises. He's added it.
It's the noise of a camel.
It's always
kind of,
it's
making a
just the
sound.
noise of a woman going like, ay, whatever I say.
What noise is that? No, that button calls the police.
That's my mum. Anyway.
We've got a Allah Akbar button.
Yeah, how the hell are you, my dude? Thanks
Good,
for jumping
brother,
on.
Living good. Feeling fresh.
You're looking cozy.
Looking
good,
very
dude. This
cozy.
is a nice couch, nice place.
You're quite a relaxed man.
You're a very
You don't
relaxed
mind
man,
me
and it
saying.
kind
Am I?
of gets on my nerves. You seem
no.
so
Oh, no,
comfy.
dude, I'm not. Trust
You're
me.
so
I hate
comfy.
myself. Don't worry
But
about it.
can you
man.
hate yourself and also be comfy?
Hell yeah, I figured it out.
Yeah, because you always look so comfortable.
I'm like hating myself in trackies, you know?
Yes.
You're feeling good, but not in the ways that matter.
So you look chill, but there is a war going on inside your head.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking Israel.
It's Gaza.
Or Palestine, as I
Yeah.
call it.
There's literally bombs
2
going
minutes
off.
in, is this...
Hospitals being blown up.
Hey,
That's
yo.
going on inside your head right now.
Are you living here?
These are facts. We're talking facts.
We're
right
talking
now.
facts,
Talking
and
facts, sorry.
we hope that it gets better, obviously.
Yes, inside Keanu's
In my
head.
head, the
Yeah.
situation there will never.
Looking cozy. I get jealous. I wish I was this comfortable. I aspire. I think every man.
What do you think I'm doing? I don't feel comfortable. As
We
a
were
person.
standing down the
This
bottom
is-
for 2 minutes, like waiting for you to get here, and Karim had an anxiety attack.
I legitimately, I had like sand in my shoes. I was holding like detergent. I was just uncomfortable, a bit blocky.
shit.
I'm getting more and more anxious as I get older. I'm
Yeah.
noticing that. I used to be this guy when I was 21,
Yeah.
and now I'm this guy.
Is that it? Is it an age thing?
Way
How old are you?
26.
Oh.
How old are you?
28.
No, it won't be that.
It's a hell of a last
I
2
was-
years.
I was-
Yeah. It was
I wouldn't say more anxious, but I was more energetic. Not as anxious, but yeah, as a kid, I was real all over the walls, and then I kind of mellowed out.
And then you became mellow.
Smoke enough weed and fix you up.
When did you find the
Giggle bush.
The
the
giggle
Jamaican
bush.
Wow. cigarette?
Yeah, I met a shaman in 03. No, I think I was like 14 when I first
Whoa.
started weed. Yeah.
Whoa,
Fuck
you're
yeah,
getting
dude.
chill early.
Chill early, dude.
Chill early.
Applause on that one. Hell yeah.
How'd that go down?
Dude, it's
Like-
so funny. I remember being in like year 9 or whatever, and one day no one's talking about weed. Like, we're just kids in school. And then I remember going to school one day and everyone's like, so you heard of this weed thing, right? When are we doing it? And I was like, what?
Whoa.
When and how? And they're like, yeah, so you're not going to do it? I was like, guess I am.
Can I bring my Beyblade?
Can I bring my Beyblade? Yeah,
You're
literally.
14.
Okay, maybe it was 15. You guys are judging me. I
You're
feel
into
like
girls?
it was
You're into girls
everyone,
then?
It was when everyone. It was in year 9, 10 when everyone talks about smoking
Okay.
weed.
Where did you grow up?
I was a year young for my year, so maybe actually
Oh, you're a young boy.
Oh.
I was like, you know, when you were in that
You grew up
time
fast.
where your parents got to choose. He's either going to be 6 months. Yeah, I was like, fucking put him in that year. Why not? And then I had a friend who's a year and a half older than me now,
Yeah.
just because he was the other end of that spectrum. So it's like we're in the same year, but he would be 18 and I was 16 in the same year in high school. So we'd be at school and he's going to clubs and I'm like, I got a babysitter.
Do you wish you could kind of wait those, or what is it, wait that extra year or 6 months?
Schoolies? I feel like
Or to start
Clubs.
school? Do you think it would have been a better life kind of being ahead of everyone, like, what is it, mentally,
I liked being young
age-wise?
for some reason.
Like being the baby face.
Well, it's like you got a head start. You're like, we're achieving the same stuff, and I'm like 6 months ahead in terms of life. And this
true.
guy's 18, he's a fucking loser in year 11. I'm 16, I'm a loser in year 11.
You can
Feels like-
graduate and still hang out with high school girls for like another
There
8
we
months. or
go.
something.
there we
That's
go,
what I'm trying to
folks.
say.
Hello. I guess I must still be about to graduate then.
Hey, yo. What are the other ones? Can we explore the sound? What's that one?
That's a bomb or an air horn.
So you're not even sure. That's
I'm
pretty
not
fun.
100% sure.
Pretty fun when the host isn't even
I
sure.
might have to get my.
Keep
it on for me.
I like it though. I really like the idea of you doing like, oh, was that one a boo or a, how are we feeling?
Oh, that was an air horn. That's what it was.
Air horn, cool.
And then we got.
It's a really irritating
Bomb.
sound as well.
Bomb.
It's kind of louder than
That's
everything
an
else.
actual bomb or like a boo sort of.
Like a-
Oh wow. Okay.
Like what you were trying
What
to.
was green? What you just hit?
That was a womp womp.
What? Sorry if this isn't entertaining at home, folks.
Oh, they're loving it. They're
Okay,
literally hearing
good.
all this stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
weird for us not
They're
being able to
yelling,
hear
"It's
it.
a wob wob, you idiot!" And
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
can't he hear? But he can't hear. Yeah, so we got air horn, we got womp womp, we got bomb.
bomb. Applause.
And
all right.
the other two.
I think let's leave the rest for later. I think that's a really good start to the
We'll
show.
explore the other ones
Yeah,
later.
yeah,
We
yeah.
want to explore you a little bit. Pause.
Yeah, where did you
yo.
grow up? Because I want to
Parramatta,
know where
brother.
this gun just.
Parramatta, back when it was Compton, if you know what I'm
Dang.
saying. Parramatta when it was
Bad
like,
Parramatta.
yeah, the playground we used to hang out in, and it was the white kids who were like the black kids, if you know what
Wow.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had this white kid who was just hanging out there.
Oh, really cool that having
was
sex
like-
with my girlfriend.
He was like 9 or 10, and he would like have bags of piss in plastic bags and chase us around with it and stuff. So
Black
just-
kids aren't doing that, are they?
No, I don't mean black kids like that.
Is this
but
a young R.
you know-
Kelly?
You know.
Hello.
Hello. I don't mean black kids in the racist sense. I mean in the sense when people say don't go to Compton, they're not talking about white kids. They're talking about
Talking
know,
about the bad,
hood.
the
They're talking
troubled
about
youths.
rappers. We've all heard rappers. There's no white rappers from. Probably are. Anyway, it was the white kids in Parramatta, and it was me and my like 4 Iranian friends just getting bullied by this white.
Oh, you
guy.
had a gang.
Well, let's not call it a gang. We were just
You had a
buddies.
gang of Iranians.
There we go.
But
But we would just be watching like
problems.
Pokemon and
Yeah.
Cheese TV, and then you go outside and it's like, you know, Chirac.
What were these white kids doing?
It's just the one white guy. The rest of them were ethnics. He was just, I think he lived in the playground. True,
Yeah.
he was just always there.
He's a boy who likes
It's not
to
even
play.
that. Okay, like my brother had a mate. I'll tell you stories from those times where you're like, oh, he's making them up. That's how weird it was. Like,
Yeah.
we had this mate who, my brother, I don't know how well he knew him, but he was like, all right, we're going to hang out with this guy at the park.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a friend, but he's a bit of a weirdo. And we were on the swings, and he just goes, okay, I'm going to go on the swing. I'm going to go as high as possible, lie down under me, and I'm going to fall onto you. I'm like, I don't want to do that. He goes, if you don't, I'll beat the shit.
Whoa.
So we just switched. Like, I've never had that.
So you're getting literally threatened.
Threatened, and my brother's like,
Yeah.
I thought this is a good friend. I haven't had that happen in other schools.
Oh, so he
that
turned on both of you, you and your
it
brother.
was. I don't know if he was turned, but it
No, this is
felt-
gonna be fun.
Yeah. And you know what
If
happened?
you don't want to play,
I
you
did
gonna
it.
get beaten up.
He was like an ethnic, because he was one of us. I don't know why he did it. Honestly, it wasn't anything
Right.
besides just being a wacko.
Yeah.
I say let's do it, and he goes up into the air, has like his elbows together as if he's like he wants to hurt me as much as possible.
Yeah.
And I roll across the floor, and he just hits the floor himself, and he's like, and we run away, and we never see him again.
Sounds like a WWE match.
Exactly. It doesn't sound like a real thing that real people go through. Even when I
think
say it,
I've
I'm like,
heard
he's
of
making
that.
this up.
I think I've heard of the under the swing. Like the cool kids used to do it.
Oh,
back
that's
in
like
the
a
day.
thing?
It's literally a thing. It was kind of like a.
Oh.
It's a test of fear. You've got to
Oh, I
kind of
thought he
sit
just
behind
hated
the
us.
swing, and then you have to kind of like show that you're fearless. And then that kid can literally choose to just end your life.
Yeah. It's a
But you
weird.
have to like. It's a weird test of
It's
fear.
like the ultimate trustful sort of thing. Right.
100%.
I don't know if he's that
But
much
they
of a
both
wacko.
lose.
or
Even if he hits me, he's not going to be like, "Oh, that felt so good." He's going to get.
Yeah, he's
boned.
gonna hurt
It's
himself
like-
a little bit. Yeah.
Just
So
seems
that's
like a.
fun.
It's living on the edge. That's what it
We're
is. I think
living.
it's-
Anyway, he's dead now.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
that shit would happen like way too often.
He did that to the wrong guy.
He died in an unfortunate
And, dude,
swing
now you think
accident.
about Parramatta, it's like the biggest Westfield in the world. They don't even allow ethnics in there. It's a whole different place.
Oh, nowadays.
Nowadays,
yeah, yeah,
Parramatta's
of
beautiful,
course.
bro. You've
Wait,
never
where's
gone-
that?
Parramatta.
I'm gonna start
Parramatta.
shopping in Parramatta.
Are you serious?
Oh,
It's got the biggest
so
Westfield, in
beautiful.
biggest shopping center in the Southern Hemisphere, apparently.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah. Which, like, Southern Hemisphere is like us and Papua New Guinea. But it's
I haven't been into the Westfield, but I've been to Parramatta recently. It felt like I was in Manhattan.
that's a yeah,
Beautiful.
it's
It
beautiful.
was absolutely beautiful. Like,
Beautiful.
where am I?
But back then, man, it wasn't like it was that bad. But it was. We
But it ain't that
moved
good.
to Linfield, like the North Shore afterwards. And it was like a noticeable. Whoa, this is way nicer. Everything about it is nicer.
When'd you move to Linfield?
Yeah, 6.
Oh, so you only had Parramatta for an early
Yeah,
period
sort
of
of
time.
most of primary school at Parramatta, and then I moved in and was just with the whites now.
Dang, that's
It
a
was
big
like
change.
There was one white guy in Parramatta, like the playground guy.
Playground guy, yeah.
And
playground boy.
fucking everyone's white in Linfield, and I'm the playground guy.
And then did
It
things
was the bag of piss didn't help, but hey.
because you said you were getting
bullied.
bullied a little bit before.
No, I didn't get bullied. I was a piece of shit kid. I was probably bullying. My brother got bullied a bunch. I feel bad. Like every white guy was just like him. I would just point to him like that one. He had like
wasn't
Harry Potter
chilling
glasses.
cool.
He was
You were over
asking-
there with him,
I
like,
hate to
let's
say
get
it,
him,
guys,
fellas.
He was asking for it, fellas.
Yeah.
He was a real bully magnet, but we didn't get bullied in the sense of like classic bullying. It was just more like, oh, there was real danger around. Like, oh, that kid from the playground might run at us. These guys who are brothers and hanging out with us might suddenly start
Flip.
swinging at. It was just weird as shit.
People are
Whereas
violent.
I just felt safe afterwards in Linfield. I wasn't like, I think this guy's got a knife on him. It was just we're doing arts and crafts or whatever. Like it's really very different when you think about it. But as a kid, everything was fun. So it'd be like chased around by the bag of piss guy. I'm like, ha, 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 ha. And I think about it later. I'm like, that's not okay.
That was kind of terrifying.
That's crazy for your kids to go through that every night at like a Tuesday because there's a kid there. That's a wild thing to go through.
And he was having asparagus.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be smelling too good after that.
No, the piss.
He was also
great.
eating a bunch of
Really.
pineapple. I'm worried to see what the next bag was going to be.
He works hard, dude. Always a bag of piss, and it's always fresh. He always says today's piss. Like he wasn't reselling.
Oh, he was
restocking.
fresh.
He gave
Daily.
if no one bought the piss by the end of the day, he'd give it to the homeless. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
But just a bit wacky.
Or putting it out to the plants.
Yeah. Maybe not.
Parents are like,
We were
unlucky
the-
today, son? Yeah.
I like to think
Get him
that
tomorrow.
If he
sport.
has parents, that's what I want to know. Because like, is he going home and she's like, hey mom?
His dad's just at
pretending he
the
was at
trade
school
side
and,
doing
like,
the same thing.
Well, his dad. It's like, who raises that?
yeah,
He was one of those feral kids. Like I don't think he spoke English. He spoke like, there's those sort of kids.
he was raised by a troll.
Tarzan-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, raised by sticks. Like
Yes.
real Tarzan-y.
I like to think there's someone trying to pass a drug test and they go down. They're like, oh no, don't throw it at me. And they're just holding out a cup in front of them.
Damn, that boy would have been popular at the.
He's in my nightmares. Ryan was his name. I really hope he's doing well because.
Do you have him on social media? That's always a
No,
good
all we
test.
knew was Ryan. Like thinking back, I can't believe these, but we knew a guy called Henny Booser. Like that can't be a real guy. Henny
Wait,
Booser. Can't
Henny?
be real. And you know what? I know his name because I went to a fucking excursion. You know how they like you could buy like key tags and shit when you went to a place. They were like,
Yeah.
you could spend I asked him if I could borrow $5. And I'd give it back to him because I wanted this key tag. And he's like, yeah, no worries, just give me a sec. And then he walks away and a teacher comes saying, and he says you've bullied him out of giving him money and you got to go to the principal's office. And I was like, wait, what?
What's
So
is
then
this
he pretty
in-
much
this in
like went to the
Lingfield?
teacher was like, he wants it all, get him. Because like he thought he couldn't say no. I don't know. Anyway, and the teacher was like, you got to go to the principal's office. And I was freaking out about it all day. And I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to go. I feel like this shithole is so terribly run that they won't even tell the principal. And nothing happened. So it was just like, no one's working in this job. The principal doesn't exist. Like, come on, it's Parramatta.
Trying to take advantage. Stop trying to take advantage of Henny.
Yeah, Henny Booster, dude.
Henny Booser.
Henny Booster. And also, I think that's his first name. So
It's just Henny. It's
Henny-
not even. It's not
Henny
even
Booster
abbreviated.
Jones? I mean, what are we doing?
What's his last name? Wumbalama Ding Dong.
There we go. Hello.
What was that one? We gotta let's
That one was the fans' laughter.
Nice.
That was a fan's
different
laughter.
to the audience laughter.
Yes. Yeah.
Just trying to learn.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the fans'
just trying to
laughter. We've got
learn.
the audience applause.
Long time fan, first time here.
So then you get to. So you're in high school. You're a bunch around of white people.
White people the way it should be. High school, high school is back to just everyone, I guess. But primary school, I remember being like, there was Asians, there was some, but it was like, oh, most of these guys are white. And Parramatta was like, maybe it was the same, but it felt so ethnic, man.
Yeah.
It
Even just growing up, you're like, this is ethnic.
this is
Yeah.
no, not until you go to the white place. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, as soon as I
okay,
went
so
to
this is
actually,
normal.
dude, even when we went to Linfield, I remember when we were going there, we're like, how do you say this? What a silly place. Linfield.
It wasn't redeemed.
I don't
Wasn't
know
redeemed.
why we thought it was so wacky. I still don't know why. But I remember actually as a kid being like, this is a silly name. Parramatta makes sense. Linfield, these white idiots are dumb. And then after a while, I was like, tea and biscuit. I was like a British person. 3
Oh,
days
so you
in.
assimilated fast.
Brother, I said no more ethnic. Stop the boats. 2 days in, I was like, get back to your own country, dude.
You denounced your western suburbs.
Hell
past,
yeah, and you have
And you
to.
embrace the north.
Have to. You gotta win them over somehow.
How is it? They accepting you when you come in?
Yeah, I was such a talkative cunt as a kid. I was like the class. I was just doing bits. I
Oh,
actually
you're
had
the
friends
funny.
tell
You're
me
funny
about
boy.
like bits I did that they would tell me, I'm like, that's actually pretty funny, but it's just such a cunt. Like a teacher was like, that I'm gonna stop when that table stops talking. I'm gonna resume when that table stops talking. I'm like, but Miss, tables don't talk, like that shit.
That's
And
so
I'm
good.
crushing, dude. I am crushing. Or like
You're a
teacher
problem.
leaves and I'm dancing on the tables. Like I'm just crushing.
The teacher's going to
But
get
I
other
didn't even think
teachers.
about-
They're like, you got to hear this kid.
The table dancing, that's
They
funny.
were like, this kid's
That's
high
really
five
good.
is crazy. And I would just talk like a motherfucker. So teachers hated me, but people were like, this guy's fun.
What moves are we talking about? Teachers out the door. You're hitting the... There's no floss
I
back
think like
then.
belly dancing. I think I was like,
Oh,
hips,
you're straight up.
Hips don't lie. Yeah. That sort
Shirt
of
up.
thing. Yeah, shirt up.
You went to that Lebanese
Taking-
restaurant.
They were
you're
throwing
like,
penny. We'll pause. So they were throwing coins at me, which hurt actually.
Kids in the
Really,
class are like, he
they
can
wish we had
tell
$1
jokes.
here,
He can
$1
tell
there.
jokes. He can give me an erection with his dance moves on a table. That does sound sexy. I'm kind of working something
It
up
was,
over
well,
here.
I was pretty young. Let's not say sexy, but it was awesome.
yeah.
It was awesome.
Oh,
It
true.
was
You
super.
would have been a young boy belly dancing at around
Ooh,
13.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The,
that's kind
the
of a
girls in the class thought it was sexy.
Did they?
Teacher thought it was sexy. She got
Whoa.
fired, but still not down with it. And my friend saw her coming, got off, stopped dancing because he joined me.
Yeah.
Didn't tell me, so she just walked into like a naked, shirtless
Yeah,
me
shirtless boy.
with them hips out. Hips don't lie, Shakira, and
I can imagine you
was-
would have been a bit mature at that age. Were you kind of like the size you
Nah,
are
this
now?
was Parramatta, bro. This was like, woo! I was like year 3.
Oh, you were doing that early.
Year 3 twerking. Yeah, I
Oh,
was.
so you've
I was,
been a funny boy.
I don't know if you'd say funny, but I was a piece of shit early on. Like teachers would be like, him.
Yes.
Every report card would be like, bright guy, he really could do better, this and that. Please stop talking. Like, just if he just focuses a little more. Like, I'd always be the B plus who could have been an A. You know what I mean? Or like they're like so close. Just let him be a good student. I was like, nah, but the bits.
Stop taking him to
I wanna-
dancing classes.
I want to keep doing fart noises or whatever in the corner. And I just like fucking with teachers and.
I like
making
the
people laugh.
idea
So
of
fun.
like, I don't know, some teachers looking in the class and it's just like they've never seen moves like that before. You get like scouted by like local Lebanese restaurants. It's like, you got to see this kid. I've never seen a
Same thing with the
way he
class
moves.
clown. They're like, he's actually like really book him.
Yeah.
He's opening for
You tell one joke and then do a 3-minute choreographed dance.
doing arenas next night.
You should bring that back. Bring back the belly dancing to like a set.
Yeah.
It's
for
funny.
Sure.
It's funny.
It
Oil
is,
yourself
man.
up a little
There's
bit.
some good bits that but a lot of people say high school and like there's moments where you're like, that was probably the funniest we were.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For where we like the because you're all just joking. You're like kind of like when we all hang out and we're all just riffing. You're like,
Yeah.
the engine starts running, and when the engine's running, it's like, oh, all that matters is being funny.
Yeah.
So you're really funny in high school when everyone's trying to be funny.
Yes.
And there's no like, if you're trying to do comedy, you're thinking, oh, that's not funny professionally and all that shit. But when you're just being funny in high school, you're just being funny. Like you're not thinking, if this isn't funny, then I'm not funny and this and that. You're just doing jokes. You're
Yeah, the
just
funniest kid in
talking,
the world
and
is a
you're
year
so
9
funny
kid.
because of it, because you're not
Yeah.
so self-conscious about what you say and shit.
It's a good point. It's a very good point.
Yeah, you get what I mean? Like if you bomb a joke with us, you'll be like, oof.
Oh, of course.
I
Yeah,
won't
you
say
feel
that.
it.
I've never felt that in
It's-
high school
You
once.
didn't feel? We felt that in high school.
Really?
Yeah, literally.
Oh shit! Okay.
It'd be like we'd be sitting at the lunch tables, and if you rocked up with like a new hat or something like that,
yes.
you
oh,
were
no, that's
you
stuff
were the
for sure.
target straight
That's
away.
But did you feel
And
like
then
if
if
you
you
made
try
a
to-
bad joke that
If someone came at you, they're like, "Oh, you got that's a cool hat," or something like that. You tried to flip it back on them. If you fucked up in any way, you're getting doubled down on. It was over.
oh damn,
Pause.
where did you go to school?
Ulladulla on the south coast.
Ooh, South Coast. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
What
Yeah.
about
Maybe it was like that. Maybe I'm forgetting.
I think you're probably thinking of. I remember I was at my
maybe,
peak in around year 3, year 4. That was my peak.
Comedically?
Comedically, my peak. Was
What about
year
dancing?
4.
What material?
Dancing.
What material are you doing?
I was just silly voices, silly faces. I'll just tell funny stories again because no one really understands what comedy is. All you got to do is pull a funny
you didn't
face.
start your abortion chunk till you're 6. That's
I know,
when
I didn't
you
start that
Really
till,
started getting edgy.
And then I literally did a dip. I lost all my confidence probably at year 5, but year 4 I was killing it.
Oh.
'Cause I don't think you have any sense of like cringe or shame or failure. It's just kids kind of find anything funny.
Yes.
Anyone who's going for it.
yes?
If you're going to go for it, kids are going to laugh. There's no such thing as going for it. You have to be really bad for kids not to like it.
But
in
like,
year
what
3,
happened
4.
from year 4 to 12 that you feel like didn't reach the peak of year 3 and 4?
Life.
You just weren't funny.
I don't know. I think kids grow up. You grow up, you get interested in girls, you kind of understand what's cringe, and you want to start taking people down a little bit. In year 3,
There's no hierarchy
4,
in year 3.
Yeah, there's no
Oh,
hierarchy.
you're like a
We're all
wholesome
boys.
comic almost.
Yes.
It's all
I was
love.
Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah,
I
there
had
we
the
go.
I had like the arena.
Right.
Doing the nicknames.
Yeah, and then you became a
all
roast
that.
comic, and you're like,
Yeah.
this guy should kill himself. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then Anthony Jeselnik rolls into town.
I know,
and
yeah,
he's got all the
literally.
girls.
And I'm just shut down.
Year 6 school hall. You should die.
There's a poster of me up there. I'm like, dang.
That was a funny time when people were cool for the first time. I remember kind of
Oh, yeah. I remember
being like,
that
wait,
really well.
that guy
He's better. Than
has attention and girls like him and he's not making an ass of himself. It was very interesting.
Started
Wait, you
acting like
two went to the
Kian
same
right
school?
now. No.
Okay.
They started acting like you. That chill. I remember being on edge. I was on edge in year 3 and 4. I was just hyper. I was intense.
Oh, you think chill's less funny almost?
Chill ruins it all. There was a kid like you that came along. Suddenly he's the coolest guy in school.
Yeah.
I'm like the silly, like,
But I don't think
child.
chill ruins it. I think like content and happy ruins it. Like if you're actually happy and content with life, there's no need to be funny. There's no need to prove yourself and all this shit. Like you guys think I'm chill, but it's like I still have all the reasons that I'm like I got to get a joke here. Like you know what I mean? So maybe it looks chill, but the guy who's actually chill, like happy with life, that's why they're not funny. Like I have no need to.
Well,
I'm
they're
cool, I'm hot,
asexual.
Kind of
girls
losers.
like me. I have no reason to prove it.
It's because they're asexual. You're trying to get pussy and that's why you're stressed
true.
out.
also probably
That's true.
That's
But no, that's what I mean.
100%
They
it.
can just get pussy. They're just cool enough and they're chill enough and you know those guys like in high school.
The
Like,
actual
they just
cool
get,
chill
the actual cool
guys,
guys.
yeah.
They just will get pussy. So it's like why would you try to be anything?
That's true.
You
Yeah,
just,
actually, you've
like
got a
you
point.
as a guy are gonna get a job, probably are gonna get. And when we're like we should prove ourselves because we're not that. Then you get a funny comedian. Like that's what comics say. Like you're not allowed to be funny and hot because the whole compensation for being a loser is I'm gonna get funny, kind of rise above it. So if you see a real good-looking, fit, cool person, good job, you're like I'm gonna watch you bomb because
Interesting.
unless there's no God, it doesn't make sense. How are you also gonna be funny than all of us?
You don't need
You
to.
don't. No, you don't.
Yeah,
deserve
literally, you
to.
don't need
You
to
don't
unless
deserve
something
to.
actually traumatic happened. Like you watch all
Yeah,
your
yeah,
family
yeah,
members
exactly.
being beheaded. Then it's like, okay,
Yeah,
that's
but
why he's
I don't
funny.
think you'd be that guy that we're talking about with that energy
if
that
you watch
happened.
your family get beheaded.
Yeah, the people that you see who are seemingly good looking and are that guy, you talk to them and you're like, you've got our energy. That probably did happen emotionally. So you've got our energy. But the energy of like a cool, chill, I'm good with everything guy, I feel like that guy's nothing to prove, man, and will never prove anything. Like, you,
Dang.
dude, you got fucking, you got
just
life
got it.
handed to you. It's kind of like hot girls. Why would they
Need a
not? Why would
personality.
you not just post your feet once a week and make like 20 grand a week? Why would you actually study medicine for 15 years?
Dang.
If you look like,
Yeah.
you know, my cousin, you're going to study medicine for 50.
Why,
I
their
love
feet
my
no
cousin.
good?
I don't mean my... No.
You were told you look like a
terrible
seal. You were
feet.
told you look like an otter or something.
Exactly.
And
You
that's
have
why you
5
study
other
medicine.
sisters.
Yeah.
3 of them are better looking. 2 of them got more attention. You're like, I'm going to prove myself. If you're just an only daughter who's good looking,
Yeah.
your dad got you the car, you're like, why the fuck would I strive for anything?
You see
Life's
a-
so good.
yeah,
You
you
just get a
see-
good man.
You'll get a good
That's-
man. You will
Sure.
get everything. Like you won't
Yeah.
even be tested. It'll just happen. You're like, oh, life was pretty easy. And you're like, yeah, because it
Dang.
can.
Dang.
Did we get too? Is this too much?
No, I'm liking it. We're going deep. We're going deep.
We're going
Yeah,
deep. Get
sometimes.
the deep button.
You are right. Like you see an attractive lawyer or doctor and you're like, who hurt you?
Yeah, exactly. But also, like, fuck off.
I hate attractive
One or the
doctors.
other.
It's like you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, dude, for
You
sure.
can't be attractive and a doctor.
No.
And kind of charming.
Ugly as possible.
I think
That's actually a good point. Ugly as possible.
Yeah, literally.
If your doctor looks
No.
like a bag of shit, you're like, I have cancer? I trust
No,
you,
I
dude.
think you're sick. I think you're sick, and then a doctor walks in and they're just beautiful. You literally sit up in your chair and
you
take
feel
the
good.
IV out of your arm and be like, what's good, baby?
Maybe they just
of
have
course.
it all.
No, I'm
That
talking
would
like,
heal
a,
you.
like
Have it
okay, a
all.
beautiful man walks in. Your doctor's a beautiful, handsome man, and he goes, oh, I think you have herpes. You'd be like, fucking no, I don't. You don't know shit, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You just got back from a nightclub. You just got back from getting laid. You're a loser.
It's like my stomach hurts. Yeah, you've got herpes. I haven't had sex.
Yes, exactly. You probably have herpes, you piece of shit. You good-looking doctor piece of shit. I haven't had sex in 12 years.
He's
How
like,
do I
what?
have
You haven't had
herpes?"
sex? That's crazy.
What do you mean? Like,
I don't want anyone who's truly content to do any service for me.
You're like on
You
your.
want them to have you want people to prove themselves in this world.
wouldn't it be a bit funky?
I was talking to this few comics who are like happy with themselves. I mean, you should never be happy with yourself.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you start
You wanna-
coasting.
you
and
should
do
wanna
the
kill
same set
yourself.
500 times and all that shit. Like,
Yeah.
have a little bit of criticism at least, and then you'll just what rises to the top will be so much better out of that.
True.
Yes.
You're speaking a lot of truth right now. I
A
like
lot
it.
of truth bombs, baby. Truth bombs with Kiyanosh. Ba-ba-bam.
I like that one. let's go back into it. So you're at Linfield, and you're the funny boy.
Has a backpack full of truth bombs.
Backpack full of truth
The truth
bombs.
bomber. The truth bomber. That literally might be the name of the episode.
No, please.
It's
What
literally.
did I
what
say?
that.
2 Muslims and a...
Yeah, what was it? 2 Muslims and a.
whatever you are.
whatever this guy is.
We'll figure it out. Working title.
It's something.
So we're in Linfield, yeah.
You're in Linfield. You're the funny boy. You're in, and you're just cool. You're not scared of any of these kids. They accept you. You're funny.
I was a dick. I would say, like, when you say you're accepted and stuff, I'd be like, I have one of my close friends. He's like, the first time we met, apparently I just like pushed him over and was like, fuck you, dude. And he was like,
Dang.
that's a mate. And I had rainbow glasses. Like, they evolved. Like, it'd be like, they would grow out of fucking.
And it's like cool
and he was
rainbow
like- he was like-
glasses, not
no,
nerdy.
like Harry Potter rainbow glasses. Don't try to make it cool. It was like the kid with Harry Potter rainbow glasses pushes you, and you're like, that's my best friend now.
Right.
So I'd hang out with everyone. I was always friendly with everyone, but I'm just like kind of like I am now still.
Yeah.
I just have a zing to me.
Oh, people
So
like
unlike
that.
jokes,
People like that.
People like that
meanness.
in comedy.
Yeah.
People love because everyone has that, and everyone has like a sort of a shield in comedy where we're like we know what jokes are. But back then I do what I thought was hilarious. People were like, that really hurt in year 4, and I was like, oh, I thought it was hilarious. Sorry, I'm so sorry. So I think I was always a bit of an asshole.
You're spicy. You added some spice.
I added some spice, but we made it work, you know.
And what's going on? Your brother's the same? You bullying him? Is he older? Or?
That's what I mean. My brother's like the shyest guy ever, and I'm like all of his confidence doubled into me.
Whoa.
Like I'd walk around and be like, "You're welcome." As a kid, not anymore. Now I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I'm here. I'll leave whenever you want."
What about your brother now? Has anything changed?
Now my brother's really confident. Now I hate myself. I don't know what happened, man.
He just comes
It's
in like a suit.
great. My brother,
He's
because he
just
works
like-
he works in politics. He's
Oh.
doing his PhD. He's like, "You're welcome now." And
Is he
I'm
older?
Genuinely
Younger?
sorry to. He's 28, so he's 3.5
Dang.
older than me. Yeah.
So you were the cool kid growing up.
Cool,
and he
confident kid.
overtook
He
you.
was shy, and now he's actually worth something. And I'm at open mics doing dick jokes, baby. Let's go.
What's the perception from family and stuff like that? Are you kind of like the
couldn't be more
shame of
supportive.
the...
No, fucking way too supportive.
Oh, they're
'Cause
supportive.
I used to be like you said. I used to rap and do music. They've always been so supportive.
Dang,
They always think
why?
it's like.
Why? What's going on?
Well, first of all, from the Iranian perspective, they think it's so cool. Because in Iran, it's like, what are you gonna? You're not gonna be like, Dad, I want to be a creative. They're like, fucking get a job, like get an actual real
Yeah.
job. So the fact that I'm doing this shit is awesome to them. The fact that I'm rapping, the fact that I'm doing comedy the next time, the fact that I'm in film and shit, like I'm just doing shit. To
Wouldn't
them,
they
that's
hate
like,
that? Aren't they
No, they're
like,
like, that's
aren't you
fucking
gonna get a
life.
real job, bring in some money?
Well, I guess it's a sign that
Well,
they've given you a
but, like-
privileged life that you can do sick shit.
Yeah, well, that's the dream. They're like, fucking oath. He's living the dream. They think it's just cool that I'm.
So you got
doing-
actually good parents.
Yeah.
You've got actually good
Yeah.
parents.
My mum's
that's
way too
crazy.
supportive. Like I'll be like, "How was the gig last night?" I'm like, "Great," and she's like, "I'm just so proud of you." I'm like, "Performed to four guys,
I'm actually gonna start crying.
performed to 4 guys in a closet." Like if you know what I mean, it's
Yeah.
still great.
She's like, "Hey, baby, you got to start somewhere. We all start somewhere."
Genuinely. I think my mum's got this thing of like, because she knows me and my brother really well, and we're not lazy people. Like,
Okay.
see, I'm at every spot. We're
Yeah, you're going, you're
we're
grinding.
really driven motherfuckers. So she's like, if they're gonna do something, they'll do it, and it'll be what it's gonna be. She used to be like, but what about uni and what about, and like dude, my mum used to be like, you got to eat meat, you got to go to uni, you got to do this, and like we just like broke her into being like vegan and not vegan, but like she's vegetarian now. She's okay with so many things. She used to be not but she was just close minded. She came from Iran, so it was like she would just say shit. I was like, that's the most racist, or that's the most this, or that's the most, and she was like, is it? And she's a whole different person now. So back then it was like, you got to go to uni, you got to do just the way that she was taught. And after a while, she's like, oh, I guess you can do comedy.
It's funny that she didn't know it was racist, and she's like, but they do look like that.
But I can't tell the difference.
She's still a racist.
Have you been to World Square? I
don't trust them.
That's the guy that greeted me, and now he's working at the butcher. Now he's bagging my groceries,
Jeez.
and now he's.
God
working at
bless.
the-
Honestly,
there's
God
something there.
bless.
Sorry, folks.
No, sorry about my mum.
So how did you... Oh, go on. What did you have?
Go on.
Oh, how'd you go with the ladies in school?
Horrible.
Mm. Ooh.
Horrible.
Oh,
I
but you're
got-
the cool
Yeah,
bully.
you sound like a cool
I
bully
got
guy.
laid when I was 18.
That's sick. That's all right.
But like I finished school when I was 17.
Oh, yeah. That's,
I got laid out of school.
uh,
Is that a boo?
Did the
That's
young
the-
thing play a
That's
factor?
That's the
wow.
bomb. Where is it? There we
That should
go.
be do you have a cry wank?
Yeah.
Stick around long enough, you'll hear.
Sticker, yeah, just let me go. No,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
not horrible. I think I had some moments here and there, but none, very little. I was the guy with 6 other guys in the corner going like, huh, she's cute, that sort of thing. I was
Okay, you're being the creep.
let's go with that. Being
You're
a
the
creep
creep.
for sure,
That's
for
good.
sure. Definitely not. till after high school. And then I just found because this thing in high school, like, I figured after high school, there were so many people that I actually connected with, but you were like, oh, but the boys, and oh, but this year, and like, so many things are in your head that aren't about the person. Whereas now it's like, you walk up to anyone you vibe with. Like, I don't fucking care what you guys think about a girl I'm talking to, because I respect myself to a certain point. But in high school, it's like, but what if the boys think? Or, but what if, like, I remember so many situations, like, you can tell your boy wants to talk to this girl and they have a thing, and he just won't, because we'll be like, you're so gay. And it's like, that's the straightest one here. What are we doing right now? So all of that shit, I think, existed. And then you get into your head about, like,
You're afraid of rejection or something?
It is pretty gay to go
not
talk
even
to
that.
the girl.
No.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah, honestly,
It's pretty
it's not the rejection. It's that, like, if you think about it, there's like environments that create certain vibes. Like, if you're in a bar and you're drinking, you're feeling good, and there's pretty girls, you might talk to one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like with all of your mates and there's one girl, you're gonna like go up
You
to that
follow her
girl
home
and talk
together.
and have all your mates watch her, and that's how school felt. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, everyone's gonna watch you have this interaction, and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, so just don't have the interaction. You know what I mean?
But you were on Facebook and whatever. You weren't just like a homie slide into DMs or something like that.
Sliding through DMs, but fucking, I was a little Iranian boy with a tiny dick. Like, no one wants to.
You're a
and
tall
there's-
boy,
and there's
tall,
hot-
handsome, chill boy. That's kind of mean. I think that's exactly what
I think I
girls
was
looking
still
for.
funny in high school, but I don't think I had like.
Riz.
You know, you guys say I'm chilled.
Yeah.
I think that's like just being okay with who you are and getting comfortable. I don't think I had that.
Also, you admit now that you are chill because you're comfortable with who you are.
Yeah, it doesn't make me happy though. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
content or happy and stuff, but this is what it is. I had that like right after school. 17, 18, when I started making heaps of music, I was like, this shit is what it is, and you need to be okay with it. And I traveled a bunch, and like, you just become very okay with the world and the way it is. But in high school, you're just jizz and pubes. Like, you're such a young little rabbit that you're just running around doing nothing and everything, barely thinking about the consequences. And then you realize, like, oh, I didn't act the way I wanted to. I acted the way that, like, the environment made me.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? It's conducive to you and your boys. Even the shit that you talk about, you're like, I didn't feel that way about half the shit. But you're like, man, she's this. And you're like, it's you and 7 guys.
You're trying to get that acceptance.
you're exactly,
You're part
that sort of thing.
group.
But the more that you grow up, the more like, I couldn't give a fuck. Like, I'm 26, but I feel very old. Like, I don't feel like I've changed a lot of how I feel. You know how some people, like, who they date really changes what they're into? Or it kind of changes...
Yeah, it changes them. Suddenly they become
their
their
hobbies and all this.
Yeah.
God, no. Fuck no. There's no way. We're not going skiing because you're super into skiing. Like, if I'm into skiing, we'll do that, but I've...
That's why
I've
Jackson's
kind of
partner must be a
accepted it.
pedophile.
Taking it back, baby.
But I do actually really want to get into, so the music has been a big one. There are
Oh.
murmurs around the comedy world. There's like,
No, are
hey,
there?
John used to rap.
Fucking hell, dude.
What's going on here? How did you get into rap? Because you talk about at that time that you started getting into music. You said you traveled a bunch and then you found yourself. What's going on there? Is that when you finished school, you're like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, so I came out when I went to Vietnam and Cambodia.
Yeah.
When I was like 17, 18 for school, there was just like, I don't know if are you guys big in hip hop or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're big hip hop
Well, it
heads.
was like the Chicago shit with like Chance and Vic Mensa and Mick
Yes.
and No Name and just all these little Chicago indie artists. And the whole thing was like, and then Joey Badass and those guys. The whole thing was like, there's like 3 guys and like a phone, microphone, and like just nothing. They had nothing. And they were cranking shit out. People were listening to them. And they're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And I just loved it, man. And I wanted to make shit. And I think for like everything, bro. For rap, filmmaking, I played sax for a little bit,
Oh.
for comedy. All of it was, I knew I wanted to do this so young. And just so much of life was like, come on, don't be crazy. Who are you to do that? You're
This
all
is
gonna
everything.
try
So you talk about
this.
filmmaking as well,
Everything. Yeah.
coupled with this.
Coupled
so you're
with
getting in film. How does the influence come with that?
Where did it start?
Yeah,
That's
so
what I
you-
mean. Again, you always love movies. You're always obsessed, but you're like, who am I to make? I remember having a thought actually, and like at my house when I was in like year 9 or something. I was like, I'd love to write a screenplay. I was like, you're gonna make a film,
Whoa.
hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, no, you're not. And it just left me for years. Like the fear. It's something with creatives, man. The world's like pressure of the impossibility of it actually succeeding. Like really throws a lot of people off.
100%.
Even getting the experience of the output.
Yeah.
Like how satisfying is it to be creative and to release? It doesn't matter how the world feels.
Best thing
about
in
it.
the
To,
world.
Like,
Yeah.
express myself. You won't even do that for like 5 years because you're like, maybe I don't deserve. Who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Mm.
Who am I to do this? Who am I to rap? Who am I to... Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be a rapper. I'm gonna be. So you just like no. And then I saw those guys do it. And I was like, fucking, I'll just write and record shit. Like, why not? Who gives a fuck? I just started doing it, and you do it, and you really like you release a song, and like, oh, when's the next song? You just start writing.
Do you have friends, or you're doing this solo? This is like a solo venture.
Bro, and it was weird. Everyone was like, what the fuck?
Did you go to a studio, or you literally got like a home?
Yeah, I had a friend who was becoming a sound engineer, right? Like, he wanted to record people right as I wanted to record. So he was like, I'll record you. Worked out perfectly. And he's actually working as like, he does tech for bands all over Australia now.
Dang.
Yeah. Good on him. But he just helped me record, and you just like, you suck balls, but
his name is Pharrell.
I don't
know if you've heard of him, but yeah.
Robbie Williams. Ever heard of him? He's a guy who like, not him. Sorry, it's a thing where like I love writing, man.
Yeah.
I love getting an output of some sort of creative output consistently. And once I started writing, I was like writing. You just release more and do it. And then it just becomes a thing you do, bro. We started doing shows because, like...
Whoa. So you're doing shows. You're in the rap scene.
I wasn't.
You're releasing music, or...
There's these, like... A lot of scams exist for local art. I'm sure you're familiar with, like,
100%.
Comedy and
Yes.
so there was this scam called, like... I'll say it. Can I name them, or...
No, literally go out there.
Emergenza, baby. Come on, what are you doing? It's like $35 they make you sell like tickets for your show.
Yeah.
You got to sell like 15 tickets to be like eligible for the fest. And it's like $35 for 2 ticks. It's basically them forcing your family to pay money to support you. That's the whole thing. They want you to get like 30 family members or friends or whatever. Hey, I'm doing a show, and they make like, do the math, $500, $1,000 off that sort of desperation of you doing a show. They sent me one of these, and it was back when like I'd never done a gig. So I was like, let's get a band together and let's get it going. And I used to play bass. So I'd been in bands, and I did it, and we started doing that shit, and it was like horrific. Obviously, there's a few of us, and we're turning rap songs into like band rap songs and all this shit. But then we got a drummer in who was Max Valentine. Shouts out, he's in Thunderfox now. He's just incredible drummer, and he was like, let's become a band, because it was Kiyanosh, right? And they were kind of just my band doing my songs. And he was like, let's just be our own artist. So then we became Motherfunk. We became this band that was like, we're just doing...
It's called Motherfunk?
It's not my music. Motherfunk.
Oh.
Nice.
Whatever.
Good.
I
haven't heard of it.
I think we got it from Shalink Monk Motherfunk, the Hiatus Coyote song.
Oh.
We're hacks. Anyway.
Nice.
And we just started making our own actual music. And then it was like, we were like great. It was so much fun.
So it's really good music. You're all proud of it.
It was just like in the local scene, people enjoyed us. Like people would be like, oh my God, Motherfunk's playing, it's going to be fun. And we enjoyed playing the song. So it was actually a good time, and it was different to doing just my rap songs and they're like just drudging along the set. You know what I mean?
So what are you doing in this band? Are you doing just vocals?
I'm rapping.
Yeah, you're just
we
rapping.
had a singer.
Nice.
We got a bassist. We had this. So it was a proper thing. It's not just like turning rap songs into music. It's like we're creating songs. I'll write a verse. She'll write a chorus. She'll do all this. It was different. It was real fun. But anyway, you do that shit, and it turns into a real... we'll see if it happens with comedy, but like you get to a point where you're like, I'm sick of the songs, I'm sick of this, I'm sick of that. The shows are great, but it's similar to comedy, man. We drove to Canberra. We did a tour. We drove to Canberra to do maybe a gig to 7 people's parents, like the other band's parents. We drove to Melbourne, and it was packed, so you never know. Similar to comedy. You're like, what's the room going to be?
Yeah.
It's either awesome or it's just the room runner being like, oh, my mum's here. And it was the exact same. But none of the... Not none of, but like 10% of the camaraderie and the friendliness and the true support and everything that comedy has. Like I've been in comedy for like 20 minutes. I've already gotten spots and opportunities from people just going, you're funny, and I told someone about you. You're funny, do this. It's so much simpler.
100%. Music,
that
everyone
shit
seems
does
to want
not
to
happen.
tear the next
It's like film, bro.
down.
What filmmaker is going to help you get your film? It's a whole thing. It's like millions of dollars. They're just in an industry.
Yeah.
They might help, but comedy is like, you're funny, do this.
It's
so
so
simple.
Cool. I don't understand
we speak
why
one
it's
language
so
and
good.
it's funny.
Yeah.
Man. That's why it's so, because music is like, even if I love your band and you're a punk band, you're a rap band, maybe we can't, you're just funny. That's that. Comedy's so fucking simple.
I think it's also because it's people solo out there as opposed to a band who have their friends with them already. I've got my 3 mates. I don't need to talk to anyone, make friends with bands. You go to an open mic, everyone's solo, everyone's awkward. Or you even go to like a good show, like a book show. The comedians they just want a mate because they're there by themselves, just trying to do something.
That's a really good point, actually. Yeah, maybe improv troupes are like that. Like they have their own little crews.
Or is it even like something to do with antisocial personalities or verging into a certain end of the autism spectrum?
With music or comedy?
Musicians are all cool, normal people. And then you usually find the outcasts seem to verge more towards comedy.
Yeah, but
compared
also
to like other
what you're
art
saying,
forms.
comedians will be way more talkative.
Yeah.
And they'd want it because they're expressing ideas through words and all that. Musicians have chosen to have sound express like every thought. So you do get a lot of musicians like they don't talk much, they're kind of down. Like, you know, the classic sort of down,
100%.
depressed rock star sort of thing. He's not chatty, but even the most depressed comic will talk comedy with you for 6 hours because talking comedy's so much fun. I never had a guy be like, man, crazy set list tonight, like for music. None of that shit's happening. Because you're talking, but it's like, I remember we'd have whole openers or like we'd be the openers and you don't even talk to the headliner.
Yeah.
Very different, man. Whereas I got fucking comics who've been doing it for like way too long talking to me like, I'm like, you shouldn't even be looking me in the eye. In music, you wouldn't be looking me in the eyes right now. And we're just, there's no ego, there's no nothing. We're just shooting bits because you had a good set, I had a good set, or you bombed and I bombed. And like the crowd levels us almost. It's a really, comedy's fucking... It's really humbling. You know what I mean?
And it's embarrassing, full stop. And like everyone knows what it's like to bomb. So it's more friendly, I guess.
Yeah. Imagine you see Chappelle at a comedy club and he just eats shit. He's still just a guy who ate shit tonight. He'll talk to you.
Shit, man.
Bands don't usually have like a bad set.
No,
The worst
you can't
set,
tell.
they're still kind of like badass at the
It's
end
just
of
people
the
nodding
day.
their heads, man. How do you have proof that it's a bad set?
Of course. People will always kind of vibe out to music.
Yeah.
No matter like how they're
We had a
feeling.
bunch of bad sets in terms of like we're uninspired, we're just getting through it, and it's like the music's still covering the space, so it's still technically going on. But if laughter doesn't appear in comedy, that's like we have a clear result. You know what I mean? It's kind of, I guess, like if you did a whole set and no one clapped after the songs. But that doesn't happen. They always clap, even if they fucking hate you at a local.
100%.
They'll just clap because clapping's easy.
100%.
But laughing isn't a thing that you can. Everyone can clap. If you hate something, you clap. You can't actually laugh unless your body brings the response of laughter. Especially if you're going to give genuine laughs all the time during a comedy show. That's like something that just occurs. But clapping and pretending that... I had all sorts of people come and see us live, and they'd be like, good stuff, man. I was like, you hated that. But they can't pretend it was good stuff at a comedy show.
Man, you killed it. Because I hate that.
I love that one song, man. I love
legit.
that one song. But comedy, they can't pretend it was a good set because I bombed.
Yeah, of course.
I saw you not laugh, bitch.
I do want to get back onto your story.
My story,
your
brother.
And one thing that I want to know is you're a guy that's out there. You're amongst it. You're making noise. What's the most embarrassing moment you've kind of suffered? Whether it's like in a friend group, we're talking bombing with a girl.
Because you seem too cool for school. There's got to be something that went
Comedy
wrong.
embarrassing or live?
Life.
Oh, whoa.
Have you had a crazy like?
I've had some
my
crazy
gosh.
shit. I had like a trampoline spring get stuck in my eye.
That's
wouldn't
kind of
go-
cool.
Yeah,
but that's insane.
I wouldn't go embarrassing, but like stuck.
Dang.
My dad carved it out. My dad carved it out.
And he's like, I'm spinning it the
and
wrong
like,
way.
Because he's like, I'm like, why are you jumping? It's like, it's a good spring. He's carving it out, and then he takes me to the hospital. By the time we're like at the hospital, he's already cracking jokes. He's like, man, I'm gonna frame that thing. He's a funny
guy.
You're a pussy and all that. I probably got a lot of my dude. My dad's not even funny. He's like, I got my the weird from. He'll be like washing dishes, and he'll just go Hans Christian Andersen, who's just a children's writer. Yeah. He'll just say
so he's a weird guy.
He's come on, and I'll have like I'll just randomly
and then he'll be vacuuming, and he'll be like, Hans Christian Andersen.
And like, oh, he's having a stroke. We should look into it. Wow, crazy.
He'll be you catch him jerking off at night. He'll be like,
Hans
Christian Andersen. Hans Christian Andersen.
He's in jail. He's in the jail the next day. Like, what's his name? Hans Christian Andersen. He's just a complete like random wacko, and his sense of humor is weird. So I think that works with my mum, who's a bit more straight, normal person, and then you get whatever this is.
She's like, yeah, Hans Christian Andersen. I don't know.
You're watching The Simpsons, and he's like, oh, what if that guy's name was Hans Christian Flanderson?
Hey, yo. Where we going?
About Hans Muslim Anderson.
No, we've always been here, folks. We've always been here.
We didn't leave, guys. Please don't leave.
But you got a spring, so your dad's a funny boy.
Yeah, I got a spring in my eye, but I would do dumb shit like that. Like, I get stuck in seat belts.
That's crazy.
I got stuck in
You press it and get out.
No, it's like my friend
clicked it into my
He was
ass.
in his seatbelt, and like he moved seats, and I kind of went through mine. And then he got out of his, and so his seatbelt almost latched onto mine. And I could have got out of it, but then my dad, Hans Christian Andersen, he goes, nah, let me fix it, and tightens it so much that I can't get out.
Purposefully?
And then listen,
It's a bit?
he's an Asian guy with a machete, and he goes, hey, you, come over next to my son. Random Asian guy with a machete comes and like slice and dices me out of it.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then he did the seatbelt.
Hey, hello.
That's right. Thanks for
We're
helping.
having fun, guys.
We're having fun here, folks.
Thanks for helping my son. Go do your massacre now.
It was like that was a really normal thing for me. I'd get like cuts on my eyes at the hospital. I was just running around. I was on the walls. I was a very my mum, poor thing, man. She was just like, put him down.
And your brothers joining you in these escapades, or it's just you? You're
the shyest, not like just the nicest. We say Mazlum in Farsi, like just the sweetest boy. Yeah. Like he would be by mum's side. He would be. Oh, he's just a sweet kid, and I'm like burning the building down. It was very different. Yeah. And I actually think that I had a family friend tell me, she was like, the reason we had our kid was because my brother was born, and they're like, oh, so this is what kids are like. We'll have one, and then the rest of us were just pieces of shit. And then they see like, you come out, and it's like, maybe we won't. Exactly. No, they fucked up. They did it too early, and they were like, we didn't know that they could be like you two. Like you guys, me and him, you guys suck. But my brother was just such a good kid that they were like, if this is all kids, let's have some kids. Wait, you've just got your brother? Yeah. Or it's just the two of you. But she when my mum and dad moved to Iran, they like met all these other Iranians in a park, and they were all like, we just moved from Iran. We're all going to have kids soon. Let's like be a family. Whoa. So we have all these family friends that we call uncle and auntie and shit. Yeah. When we were kids, they obviously weren't our real uncles and aunties, but that's just what we called them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're closer to them. Not anymore. I mean, I love my family in Iran, but like we were closer to them as kids than I'd see my family every 2 years for 2 weeks. I'd see these guys every week. You know what I mean? Because I live in Australia. We're going to kids, and they all got kids. They're all the same age as us. Like Parramatta, we had you called it a gang, which was we should go back to that. We had a gang in Parramatta because it was just literally a family and another family going, we're all Iranians. We don't know what the fuck we're doing in Sydney. Let's fucking stick together. So we lived together for a few months. We did this and that. And like, that really made me not feel any of the, my mom tells me now, like, that was crazy and that, or even the Parramatta stuff. None of it felt weird to me back then. Because I was just with homies. I just knew these. It was like I was just family. It felt like Iran in Australia. You know what I mean? None of it felt weird because you're just having fun with friends. But I feel like if I didn't have them, there'd be a lot of that'd be a very yo, Parramatta's crazy. I don't feel safe. But like it was all we were laughing, dude. We had motherfuckers like chasing us, and you're just giggling because there's so many of them. So you've got such like community, which is such community. When did they come over from Iran? Like. They all came over at the same time. Yeah. So we were all born together. All born here. All born together. Like, I don't remember a life without these guys. Yeah. So we weren't like 5 when we met them. It was just we grew up and we're like, yeah, these are like kind of our cousins. And like, not really, but kind of. And then we grew up and we're like, oh, they're not, but we know them better than our cousins. So you're still close? Yeah, fucking so close. Like, we hang out all the time. And what happened when you did the move? Did they all do the move too? Or no, so as we grew up, there was years and periods where, not that we didn't see each other every 3 months, every 6 months. Yeah. There was periods where we weren't friends in like the had a fight sense, but rarely ever connected. And then you'd connect, and it's just like, because you've known each other so deeply that it's like, that friend, and you're like, what's good? There's none of the like, you don't how's even work? Know. You got a girlfriend? Nothing weird. You just go like, you're gay, and you're back to it. Like you're just singing and having fun. It's so much fun. Did you ever get it up to any mischief like together? Everything, man. So much. We would get into like, like all the seatbelt stuff, the spring. Dude, we hijacked a plane in 2001. We were bad kids. Give me a sound effect for that one, baby. That's crazy. We were bad kids. We had a couple shenanigans. Ever heard of Link Cafe? We blew up a freaking hospital, bro. We paraglided into a music festival, and let's just say we got a bit wild. I've got some big plans. Wild shit, man. And like sometimes it wouldn't even be wild shit. Like one of our friends was on a ledge and he couldn't get down, and we had like 90s. So we pushed him. We killed a friend. Sorry, we had a friend who he couldn't get down, and he's probably still there. Like, no one helped him get down. We just had like. Every moment was just bits. I actually, that's the thing, man. You realize your life is comedy as a kid, and then you just need to reanalyze it as an adult, and you're like, oh, it's just that's the material. I don't need to live any more life. It's the funniest. I literally had a friend who notoriously did like very cutting edge bits. He did that bit a few times where an actual cliff face does the. I'm going to push you off the cliff. That's a bit? That counts as a bit? It's the funniest thing in the entire world because the guy's usually like,
Are you actually kidding?
No. Dude, that's
like, I'm going to kill you. You actually almost killed me.
Yeah.
And it's the funniest thing in the entire world.
Like, that can go wrong.
Yeah. And that's kind of what makes it so funny.
Come on.
Legitimately,
We gotta have limits,
kid,
man.
this kid did it, I think, 4 times.
How old is he in this?
He's probably 14.
Yo.
A wild boy. Wild boy. He did the craziest stuff, but that cliff thing was probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life.
Can I say that cliff
Yeah.
bit's gone wrong a few times and he didn't mention it to you? He's
sure,
got bodies
sure,
where he's
yeah.
like, man, this works every time. And you're like, every time, you're like, mostly times this works.
He would do the same thing into traffic.
Oh, wait, you're not kidding?
No, not kidding.
Oh, I thought it was
He
a
would
joke.
go for that bit.
Oh, man, this guy should be...
It's the funniest thing.
Can I just say, this guy's 37, still doing this.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been doing this since 14, man. This beat crushes. Can I just say, when I was a kid, this crushed.
Just a criminal comedian.
It's the funniest
Just
thing.
walking past a
Comedian?
car. And he's like,
Are we going to say
look,
comedian?
Oh,
I
look,
think it's
guys.
criminal, man.
He's like, dude, I'm just going to go hop in my car. And it's like, Brian, that's not your car. Just like takes his shirt off,
I
wraps
got
it around his
him.
hand and punches the window in.
Is Brian robbing a bank again? I love his bits.
He's a silly bugger.
Yeah.
So embezzling funds.
That's pretty funny. That is that, but like, that's
Oh.
I draw the line
Risk
sometimes.
to reward.
Yeah,
It's like the riskiest thing, but the reward
crazy
is
on that one.
almost there. Or actually, maybe just
But here's the
surpasses
thing.
it.
Here's the thing with that joke. The risk is all on that guy.
Yes.
The reward is all on this guy. The two people, he's not going, man, that's the cliff guy's not going, you know what, fair enough, that's pretty good. He's like, I'll never forgive you. And the guy's about to push him, he's like, but I thought that was pretty funny. It's
the
not
funniest
even
thing in the world.
The risk and reward are for two different people.
Oh, completely. And again, there is a way to do it. You know what you're going to do, so you push and then you kind of grab them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
So he
not
was
like,
he was a vet.
he was a vet. He did this a few times.
Right, okay.
And I
He's like a
legitimately
Chris Angel
couldn't go
mind
near.
freak sort of thing.
Yeah, literally.
Because Chris Angel mind freak, I'm going to disappear. Like your girlfriend's going to disappear. This is like amateur Chris Angel mind freak. I was like, I got your nose, and then he's got your. Anyway,
He's got
I think we've joked about it before, but I've literally like been driving with a girl in the car and just been like, I can let go of the wheel right now. Wouldn't that be funny?
as a bit. Oh my god!
funny.
I've done like the
Jesus
running
Christ.
over people bit.
Yeah, I've run over a
That's
few
the
people. That's really
funniest thing
funny.
when
And then
you,
their
like-
family's like, but I loved him. You're like, come on, it's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. It was a bit.
It was a bit. He liked it.
That's the crazy thing with humor. It can get to very scary places. We've been outside of Crown Comedy. Riv Narak's been
I was
there.
gonna say, man.
I've done the about to run him over.
Ooh.
It's a funny bit.
And also, the comedy in Crown is pretty offensive.
That's
and
also,
pretty
yeah.
dangerous. I was gonna say we're gonna talk. Have you guys talked about Crown on the pod?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
It's our place.
Rest in
We
peace.
invented
No, in
Crown
terms of
Comedy.
rest in peace.
I know. Rest in peace.
Wow.
Oh yeah. We
Crown,
did.
we love you so
talked
much.
about
Rest
it a
in
little bit.
peace.
One other thing I wanted to ask: have you been in a fight? Are you a fighting boy?
No, not at all.
Never.
Never. I can think into. I think I've been in terms of when like crazy high school stories where there's like it's one of those crazy nights and there's like 100 whatever. It's just so many random people fighting and there's like a fight breaking out and I might be in the friend group of the fight breaking out.
So you're not
That's-
necessarily jumping in and throwing a punch or
like
anything
it's
like
two
that.
guys and there's 12 of us and it finishes in 10. That sort of things happen.
But I
But
feel
no,
like you've
me-
got the stature.
For a fight, dude, I look like I'm all bone.
Yeah, but
I'm
even the
all
height
bone.
will get you
No
there.
muscle, no dick, no balls. I'm all bones.
You got no peace?
No. Oh God, no. I'm
Nothing for
Really?
Iranians?
got a
No.
pussy.
Really? You're a tall dude. I don't even think you need to even mention that. People just assume you got a nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then I just won't say it, so
And
the
you
girls
seem
can like be
cozy and
disappointed.
relaxed.
Yeah.
I think naturally.
Girls are really they're into the cozy relaxed thing, but then I'm too cozy and relaxed and really bothered. Like they'll be cozy and relaxed and they're like, so what are we? I'm like, suddenly not so chill, huh? Suddenly,
like the cool,
suddenly you're
cozy,
not into the
relaxed
chill
attitude.
guy who
Yeah.
doesn't want to put labels on it all that stuff. Yeah.
Suddenly the guy with the small penis isn't such a catch.
Oh, suddenly my dick's too chill because I can't get hard. It's a chill dick, bitch. Okay, it's a chill dick. It doesn't get hard.
Dang.
No, but that's a very the chill thing. You know how girls like you to make plans and decide on things and stuff. How cool I am has bothered some people. Some people love it, but some people are like, make a decision. I'm like, I will, but I truly like. If we hang out on this couch or at Scruffy, who cares, right? But girls are very like,
It's
which
1:30
bar are we
a.m. We
going?
need to
What
have
time.
dinner.
We need this and that. I'm like, I can do that, but I don't care. So I feel like you should do it. And they leave me.
Dang.
Yeah, but I love it. I really like. Again, I know what I like, so I'm very like. I'm a chill guy, by the way. I'm not looking for anything this and that. And the girls who like it are like, this is great. So I've had some real good things going.
I'm starting to worry. Is this because of the
It's getting weird.
vegetarianism?
Why I'm
Which
gay?
we haven't. I want to get into.
Is that why I'm gay?
The chill. Yeah, that's also why you're a homosexual, and maybe that's why you're not a.
Yeah, you're just low energy from not having any meat.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, something to.
I have a steak and I
switched.
just start fucking, dude.
You're just on edge. You're like, yeah, what are we doing?
No, what were you gonna say?
But in terms of the whole, are you vegan or vegetarian?
Vegetarian. I've been vegan for a bit. I've been vegetarian for a bit. I think that's the extent of it.
What's going on there?
I don't know. It was like
You a
9.
hippie?
It was like 9-10 years. It was so long ago. One
How-
of our
how
friends.
long
who-
ago?
Like 9-10 years ago.
Whoa.
It's been a long. I don't think about
You
it
were an
at
OG.
all. I don't think about. No, an OG is like the 70s, man. The
But in
Woodstock
terms of
and
like
stuff.
age, I don't know anyone that young
Like,
being like, I'm going to
I
go
think
vegetarian.
After what would the maths be on that?
I mean, it's so funny, like 19 years ago, so I just want to finish high school.
9, 10 years ago.
Oh
9-ish.
my
Yeah. Genuinely, I would have.
I
would
thought you
have
said
been around
19
no,
years
no,
ago,
no,
and
I
I'm
would
like,
have been
dang, what are we
like
talking
17-ish.
about?
Because one of my friends who just eats meat. That's like all he does. He went
Pause.
vegan.
Yeah.
And we were like, nice.
There we go.
He
Hello.
literally just eats meat.
Yep.
And
Pause.
Hello.
so he just sucks cock. And
Hey, yo.
Hey,
Hey, yo.
hold on.
pause.
Yo.
He only eats meat, and he went vegan. So we're like, if he can fucking do it, I got to give it a go. Because I was trying to back then. I was like, let me give it a go and all this stuff. And it was so easy, and I just haven't thought about it since. That's literally the truth.
You haven't had
There's-
meat on your mind.
No.
Pause.
Hey, but I had so much cock on my mind.
Hey, yo.
Have you ever had a cock in your mouth?
No, never. I'm aggressively. I define myself as aggressively straight. Like I,
Okay.
you know,
Like you hit women. I love you,
I don't
bitch.
eat meat. That's how. That's how
the
straight
best way
I
to
am.
say domestic abuse. I'm aggressively straight. I like I can tell when a guy's good looking. I'll agree. I'm like, that's a good looking guy. That's a bad looking guy.
Yep.
But it just can never do anything for me ever.
Whoa.
And I'm not against it. I'll do whatever you. I know it won't.
Who's your closest? You must have one.
Yeah. Like I have a friend. Steve.
There we go.
No, I'm serious. I have a
we go.
friend, Steve-O. Shout out to Steve-O.
Yep, Steve-O.
Long hair,
Ooh.
sort of twinky Asian boy.
Whoa.
So when he turns around, just looks like a hot Asian chick. We've all grinded him at the club. Me and all the boys. And we're like, oop, it's him. Ruh-roh. So that's the line. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
when he turns around, it's a guy. I don't want to be, but
Yeah.
it doesn't do it for me. But when he's turned around, I think it's a woman. Let's go.
Could you keep going?
I think so.
If
I
you
don't know,
kind
man.
of knew
People-
it was him,
I
but
know a
he's
lot
not
of
going to
people
turn
who are
around.
real liberal with their
Yeah.
exploring their sexuality and stuff. I'm not.
You're
I've learned this
conservative.
with
Yeah.
girls because they're like, "Oh, so you're into whatever," and they say something I'm like, "Oh, I guess I'm not." What the fuck is that? Because you think
Right.
you're open-minded until someone's like,
Until it's actually staring.
my dad wants to
staring at
watch
you.
or whatever. And you're like, that's not happening because my dad wants to watch.
I
and
can't remember the
They hate
dad.
each other.
Who's the guy? There's a good call. There's a throwback there somewhere. Who's the
Britney
guy?
Spears.
No,
Her dad probably
the
watches.
name that your dad said randomly when he was washing the dishes.
Hans Christian Andersen.
Hans Chris. I literally
Callbacks. This
Ah,
is a
yeah.
hot app, dude. I don't know
There
how
we
your
go.
other apps
There's
go,
a-
but
something
how
good
many
there.
Hans Christians do we have in this Anderson? Anyway, what was he talking about?
You ask your dad that same question. He's like,
Yeah, so
you know
some
what that
people,
name I always say?
some people, I don't know what you guys are, but I've learned I'm not as open as I think I am.
Whoa.
But I'm down to fuck around.
Yeah, I've over the last probably month, I've realized that I'm also Islamic.
Oh my god!
Only
What a cool way to say racist.
That's good.
yeah. Wait, Islamic people racist?
I mean, you only like Muslims, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
I'm becoming a Muslim. Yes.
Hey yo, what are you
Oh.
doing to him?
3 Muslims on a couch.
3 Muslims on a
Folks.
couch, guys. The
Oh, we
worst
got there.
sitcom of
We
all
worked out what we are.
Hey, yeah.
All right. Well, we might wrap it there, ladies and gentlemen. Gyan, thank you very much for coming on, brother.
An honor and a privilege.
We're gonna
It's a
go
fun
do a couple mics
We're gonna redefine comedy.
Yeah.
tonight and go and tear it up.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, hell yeah, doggy.
Whole
Good evening,
squad.
everyone. Peace out.
And
Bow.
a peace out.
Hey, yo.